This is the CBS2 News Update. I'm Chris Wragge. Another hot and sticky day on tap, but we're almost out of the woods. John Elliott here with the forecast. Johnny?
Remember Into the Woods? That was a good show. That was a good movie. So here's the deal. Still a heat advisory for the city, parts of Long Island, coastal Connecticut, a little bit of northeast New Jersey, but we're starting to see some changes. Show you. Got the proof. 84 right now. In the park, winds are variable at 6. The wind is the big deal. The wind is starting to shift. Numbers around the area, 87 Jersey Shore, 5 towns to 86 in Comac. Look at 87 in Greenwich. It is hot for the kids that are in school in Connecticut. Big View, just for comparison. Look at all the cool air upstate. Their numbers compared to yesterday, wow, 10, 15, 20, 22 degrees cooler. So that cool air will cascade our way for your Friday. We see a big drop. High right around 90 today, and you're feeling it with those high dew points. But then, even though it's still humid tomorrow, it's not going to be that hot. Want to show you what's going on right now. The potential rainmaker is a very weak front right there. And while I have you, and we appreciate you tuning into these things, I want to show you this afternoon looks pretty quiet, pretty benign for tennis, baseball, football, a lot of stuff going on. But Friday is changing, and this is causing me concern. Now the models are hinting at a shower or thunderstorm Friday morning. So it's like the energy of the front finally gets its act together. And then look at this. This is what we're serving up for midday tomorrow. My concern, there could be some heavy rain in some of these. Now, we're in much better shape to absorb the rain than we were with recent flooding, but it could be busier Friday day, and then Saturday is a little suspect. Neither of those days will be a washout, and into the holiday weekend, no day is a washout, but it's definitely busier, and we're going to be watching that. Oh, and then this is interesting too, Chris. Look at this. Back to school, you're right back close to 90. A lot of variety.
Just what the kids want to hear. Yeah, okay, John, thanks so much. Now to Campaign 2018, Governor Andrew Cuomo traded insults and one-liners with Democratic primary challenger Cynthia Nixon during a debate right here on CBS2. Nixon and Cuomo sparred over the MTA, President Trump, and accusations of political corruption. CBS2 political reporter Marcia Kramer reports.
If this had been a heavyweight title fight, the announcer would have said, shake hands and come out fighting. And that's exactly what they did.
Can you stop interrupting? Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop lying?
Yeah, as soon as you do.
He used the MTA like an ATM.
My opponent lives in the world of fiction. I live in the world of fact.
Governor Andrew Cuomo and challenger Cynthia Nixon fought like cats and dogs over everything from subways, corruption, health care, and the right of public employees to strike. But one thing they sorta agreed on was this.
Would you consider having the MTA cancel the planned fare hike for next year and have the state make up the shortfall?
I would support canceling the fare hike because the service is not what people deserve. It has to be a joint funding responsibility between the city and the state.
I think it's unconscionable that we're thinking that Governor Cuomo is thinking about raising fares on a system that is working so poorly.
Also unconscionable, says Nixon, the exposed corruption in Governor Cuomo's administration.
He shut down the Moreland Commission when it came too close to him.
Then it was tit for tat. Charges that Nixon sought political favors from a politically connected friend.
Cynthia Nixon called the mayor's office, asked for favors for her friends.
What I asked for was for helicopters to stop flying over the free Shakespeare in the Park.
Oh, that's not a favor?
Theater.
And then Andrew Cuomo gave one of the most Sherman-esque statements we've heard from a politician in a long time.
Can you promise the voters of New York that if you win re-election that you won't run for president and spend the next 4 years as governor?
Yes, yes. The only caveat is if God strikes me dead.
The governor, who at times has seemed more comfortable running against President Trump than Nixon, was at it again.
We have to stand up to Trump. New York is the alternative state to Trump.
You stood up to him about as well as he stands up to Putin.
Sports gambling is now active, up and running in New Jersey. Do you support it?
No, I don't support it.
I support it in the right places under the right conditions.
And you can see the entire debate again from start to finish and weigh in with your reaction if you head to cbsnewyork.com or our CBS2 Facebook page. It's also important to note that this year's New York State primary has been moved from Tuesday to Thursday, September 13th. Polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. A Hudson River rescue caught on camera this morning. Bystanders jumping in to help by forming a human chain after seeing a man fall into the water. Firefighters were able to then pull him up with a ladder. All this happened around 9 o'clock this morning near Pier 84. Witnesses say they're unsure exactly how the person fell into the water. 2 people are arrested in connection with body parts found in bags in 2 Bronx parks over the past week. 31-year-old Daquan Wheeler and 30-year-old Sierra Martinez are facing a series of charges, including murder and concealment of a human corpse. They're accused in the beating death of 25-year-old Lisa Marie Velasquez of Melrose. She disappeared 9 days ago. The hunt is on for a killer of a pizza delivery man in Harlem. Police say 37-year-old Jose Alvarado was gunned down late last night in front of Papa John's Pizza on Amsterdam Avenue. He was returning from a delivery when he was shot. Police originally thought it may have been a targeted attack, but are now saying it was a robbery. And now to a CBS2 exclusive. The young child who miraculously survived a hit and run is talking about his will to live. The 11-year-old boy was struck by a car while riding his bike. CBS2's Jessica Layton spoke with him in Queens.
It's the summer night bike ride that could have easily ended in tragedy. As Richard Glanville flew into the air and then was lying in the street, he was only thinking one thing.
I don't want to die.
After 4 days in the hospital, the very matter-of-fact 11-year-old from Far Rockaway is home.
Is there anything they told you you can't do right now that you really want to do? Take this off.
Bravely recounting what he remembers.
The only thing I remember is that when I hit the car, I leaned up against the other car, and then the ambulance came and I just started like screaming.
Richard was on his bike by this intersection just a few blocks from home when he got hit. Neighbors say they heard the sound of the car slamming into him before the driver took off.
It's just heartbreaking. I can't believe that, you know, you would hit a child and you would just leave the scene, not even to see if he was okay. I don't know. I'm completely in shock about this whole situation.
A day later, police did arrest 41-year-old Agostino Sinclair after finding his car nearby with a shattered windshield.
What would you want to say to that person that they arrested? I don't want to say it on camera. I don't want to say it at all.
For now, this little boy is focusing on being able to play football again.
Quarterback, center, and linebacker.
And hopes it won't be too long before he feels like riding this brand new bike. In Far Rockaway, Queens, Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.
Some parents are now complaining about what they call a dangerous playground slide. The 2-story slide is part of the Chelsea Waterside Park. The slide in question is on dry land, but there are sprinklers and other water features at the park. So parents say the kids are wet. They have sometimes hit concrete wall and the fence at the bottom of the slide. Parents have to put up a mat at the bottom to keep the little ones from getting hurt.
Even if they hit their head really hard on that, they can get a concussion, you know, and these kids are flying down.
I don't think that the slide is dangerous if you use common sense. I sit at the bottom next to the orange pad when my kids go down, and if I see kids putting water on the slide, I just tell them not to put water on the slide.
Well, a Spark spokesman says that the slide was designed for safety and fun and exceeds all safety regulations. Now to a health alert. A deadly outbreak of salmonella poisoning has been linked to kosher chicken. 1 person from New York State has died and 10 more have gotten sick. They're among 17 people infected nationwide. All of the victims reported eating kosher chicken. Several said it was the Empire brand. The bacteria was reportedly found at 2 processing plants, one used by Empire. The first reported case was last September, the most recent this past June. Avocado lovers, listen up. Researchers are recruiting people willing to eat an avocado a day for 6 months. It's part of a study called the Habitual Diet and Avocado Trial. Researchers are looking into whether or not avocados help with weight loss. Previous studies have shown avocados have pro-heart fats that fight cholesterol and may lower blood pressure. 4 colleges, I should say, are participating in the study and are offering $300 to 1,000 participants who qualify. The study is funded by the Haas Avocado Board. Heck, 4 colleagues may be doing it. Who knows? Now, according to a new study, love is in the air. A survey by British bank HSBC found that 1 in 50 people has found the love of their life while taking a trip on an airplane. Researchers interviewed 2,100 people from more than 100 countries. Over half of airplane passengers say they have struck up a conversation with a stranger while on a plane. So instead of speed dating, maybe you just want to take a little trip on board a plane somewhere. Who knows? Prince Harry takes the stage at the London production of Hamilton and leaves fans wanting more.
You say... That's definitely not going to happen. He did try, but I said no.
So close. Show creator Lin-Manuel Miranda was on hand as Prince Harry drew cheers from the crowd yesterday when he sang the first note of King George's song, You'll Be Back. He and his wife Meghan attended the special performance to raise money for a charity that works with children affected by HIV in Africa. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex appeared to have a great time and even took pictures with the entire cast, as you can see. That is your CBS 2 News Update. I'm Chris Wragge. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Chris Wragge.